Well, hello there. We have made it. This is finally number 10 in our series, Losing Weight on the Carnivore Diet. I wanted to talk today about reaching your ideal weight. You know, you finally get there. You set a target to lose so many pounds and you finally get there and you've achieved your goal. Not only that, but many of your health conditions have been reversed also. This has been pretty much my experience of the last month or so on the carnivore diet. I've been on carnivore 8 months now, and I've lost about 47, 48 pounds in that region. And I have now achieved my ideal weight. I now weigh, at the age of 68, I now weigh less than I did when I got married 3 years ago. That's quite remarkable in my mind. It's such a great feeling to have that weight off after all those years of trying and failing, and I finally succeeded on carnivore. Not only that, but all of the health conditions that I was aware of have been reversed totally on the carnivore diet. So maybe you're in the same position as me today. You've been on carnivore for a while, you've reached your ideal weight, you don't really want to lose any more weight, and you're wondering what to do now. So today in this video, I just wanted to discuss a few of the options that you have once you reach your ideal weight when you've been doing carnivore for some time. Of course, the first thing we need to say to you is congratulations for making it this far. You've made that big decision. You've taken your health into your own hands. You've accepted responsibility. You've lost the weight. You've improved your health. That deserves a hearty congratulations. So I've jotted down 5 things that we could say about this season or this stage of carnivore when you've reached your ideal weight. Firstly, you can always choose simply to stay on carnivore. Many people in the carnivore community stay on carnivore for years, and they keep it up year after year, even though they've already reached their ideal weight. And this is pretty much how I felt the day I lost my weight and I achieved my goal. I thought I've got no reason to go back, no desire to go back. I just wanted to continue on carnivore. What I found in my experience was that once I reached my ideal weight, my weight loss seemed to slow right down. It might go up a pound or down a pound, depending on what I do each day, but basically it stayed the same weight and I haven't lost any more. So maybe that's my body's way of telling me that everything's okay now, you don't need to lose any more weight. So if carnivore's given you the solution that you need, then it makes sense just to continue right on with it. In other words, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's worked for you, so why not just keep going? The second thing we could say is that you could possibly adjust your calorie intake a little bit. It wouldn't hurt now that you've reached your ideal weight and you don't want to lose any more weight, as I do battle with the cows over there, that you can simply just eat a little bit more, stay with the carnivore principles, but maybe eat a larger portion of meat, more fatty meat, and see how that goes each day. The other option I guess you have would be to start experimenting with adding different foods in. Many people seem to do this even before they reach their ideal weight, but once you've reached your weight, I guess it's an opportunity to do that if that's what you wanted to do. I guess the thing to keep in mind at this point is that anything you do add in quite possibly could trigger further cravings, and it could mess with your weight and cause you to put weight back on again, and that's certainly something that you don't want to happen. So if you're going to start adding things in, I would be particularly looking for very low carb options, maybe some dairy. The cows are agreeing with me. Maybe some dairy or some very low carb green leafy vegetables. Stay away from the starchy vegetables, and I wouldn't add any more than one at a time, and give it time to process in your body and give it time for you to measure how you react to that addition and what it's doing to your body. I guess the bottom line here is that I would proceed very cautiously with adding more items in, but you could experiment if you wanted to and felt safe to. The fourth thing we could say here is that if you've lost the weight, then the other thing that you're wanting to do, particularly for us older folk, is that we want to build up some muscle. So maybe if you haven't already, and many of you might have done this already, but start building in some resistance training. I know in our lounge room I bought myself a cheap set of dumbbells. And so now I alternate my mornings. One morning I get on the rebounder where I do some aerobic exercise with a video on YouTube for accompaniment, where I will bounce for about 10 minutes each morning. And the alternate morning I will lift a few weights for about 15-20 minutes, again with a video to instruct me on the way through. But do something to increase your muscle tone. This is going to be so important. It builds up strength, which is so important in those later years. It's your muscle tone, your flexibility, and all those advantages that are going to prevent falls in those later years of life that so many people are prone to. And that muscle tone is just going to give you so many advantages just living day to day and enjoying life to the full. A fifth step that I would mention here would be to maintain very carefully your body weight and health measurements, particularly those things that you can measure at home. Obviously, the big concern in my mind being in this situation is it took me a lot of hard work and a long time to lose that weight. I do not want to put it back on. So I am weighing myself more frequently since I got to my ideal weight than what I was before. I weigh myself at least every 2 to 3 days now, just to make sure that I'm not putting on any weight. I also occasionally, at least once a week, I would take my blood pressure and measure my fasting blood sugar content, my blood glucose content. I want to keep an eye on all those measurements that things are being maintained. There's also those subjective things that you can keep measuring too. How do I feel today? What's my mental clarity like today? How much stress is in my life? Am I sleeping well? All of those sorts of questions come into play too, because each one of those has a strategic part to play in keeping us at our ideal weight and our ideal health. Of course, ultimately, and here's the one that makes the most sense of all, you have to keep listening to your body. This is something no doubt you've learnt to do over your journey on the carnivore diet. You've learnt to listen to your body. When I started carnivore, if you used that phrase to me, I would wonder what on earth you were talking about. What do you mean, listen to your body? But since being on carnivore, I've become very used to listening to my body, and your body will tell you what it needs and what it doesn't need, what it likes and what it doesn't like. So keep listening to your body and making adjustments as you go. You see, the ultimate goal is your health, your longevity, your quality of life, your relationships, your family, your agenda, doing the things that you want to do and living life to the full, particularly in your later years. So I think there's just a few simple suggestions of things that you could do to help maintain your weight and your level of health after you've reached that point on your carnivore diet. I would love to hear from you, particularly if you have reached your ideal weight, what you're doing yourself to maintain that weight and what your experience has been. So please leave a comment down below and let us know your story. I wanted to say thank you for watching not only this video, but for those that have watched the whole series, a huge thank you for your support and your encouragement and all the wonderful comments that I get on these videos. It's been quite a journey and I've enjoyed it immensely. So I will keep making videos even though the series is finished. I will see you on the next video. So until then, keep telling your story. That's what it's all about.